Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Ready, Set, Recap, where we recap what's been going on. I'm Daniel, joined as always by my best friend, Skyler.
Joining as always.
This week in the news, the Persona 4 remake is real. We got the casting announced for Survivor 50, the big returnee season. EA has canceled a Black Panther game, and we also got casting, some big, some small, for the, Amazon Harry Potter show. So we got some
It is
big things
Amazon,
to
right?
talk about. I think so.
No, HBO.
HBO, but before we get,
Yeah.
oops, but before we get into all that, Skyler, what's been going on with you this week?
I saw Mission Impossible.
Right, your dead's been reckoned, I hear.
My dad got reckoned last time. This time the reckoning was final.
How can there be
Um,
more after Dead? Is this a
well,
Scientology joke?
it was no. Hmm. No. Dead Reckoning came out what, 2 years ago, and it was supposed to be Dead Reckoning Part 1, Dead Reckoning Part 2, but then they changed
Right.
Part 2 to Final Reckoning, which I guess kind of means the same thing a little bit, right? It's like we're gonna end the
Yeah.
rest of the reckoning.
It's the,
So,
the
sure.
the reckoning must be finished. We have to
Yeah, yeah,
bring the
yeah.
reckoning to a reckoning.
Now this Mission Impossible movie, I believe, was in my list of things I was most excited for in the year. It made my top 5,
Right.
and
Yeah.
it was good. I liked it. I think I still think I like Dead Reckoning more. That movie was like oof, it was really good. This
Right.
one is also very good. I think it had some issues in the first act as far as like pacing and lots of exposition. This movie has a lot to
Hmm.
both set up and remind you of.
Yeah,
I
I was
think
gonna say
rather
you
rather
wouldn't
late in the
think
game.
that a part two would need to do too much exposition because it theoretically would just have used the first movie for that.
Yeah, but at the same time, and I don't know at what point during production they decided they wanted this movie to be this, but they also wanted to bring back lots of elements from even further back movies. Like
Right.
they tie in a plot element from Mission Impossible 3, and they bring back characters from the first Mission Impossible and various other things. You know what?
Well,
They didn't bring back Jeremy Renner, and I feel like they should have.
that's a bummer for Jeremy Renner. He get cucked out of Hawkeye season 2, and now this.
They
Rough
just
year
don't
for
want
him.
to pay him. They
Yeah.
just don't want to pay him to be in things, and he was one of the good ones.
Is he not he? Sorry. Is this the last Mission Impossible, or is it like is he retiring like Brett Favre, where like it's the last one until the next one?
Yeah, it might be that
Okay.
because they were definitely hyping this one as the last one. It is called The Final Reckoning, right? But
Sure.
and you know the trailers, he's like, I need you to trust me one
One
last
last
time.
time.
But by the time the movie ends, it kind of just seems, spoilers, I suppose.
Sure.
It seems to me to end like a regular Mission Impossible movie. Like there's nothing definitive that says he can never go on a mission again.
Okay.
So
There's no like Paul Walker riding off into the sunset. No,
no,
nothing like
none
that.
of that. So it very much could be you said Brett Favre. You could
Sure.
say Michael Jordan, he retired 3 times. Terry Funk retired 3 times.
True.
This might not be the final Mission Impossible.
That's
But
fair.
if it
I
is,
think
if
especially
it
now
is,
that
then it
there's
is.
a stunt Oscar showing up, I think he might
That's what I'm
genuinely be like,
saying.
we're gonna do another one.
That's what I'm saying.
I is it spoilers to ask what the big stunt of this one is, or has it been like on all the trailers or something?
In the trailers you see there's a bit with 2 planes. There's a red plane and a yellow plane, and they're kind of like not dogfighting because they don't have guns per se, but they're like flying
They're
around
getting
each
really
other.
close and they're just punching each other through the window.
Yeah, more or less.
Hell yeah, brother.
He's definitely holding on for dear life onto an older model airplane.
Nice.
Yeah, so like I was saying, Act 1 has a lot of like pacing, like, okay, we're going through this, remember this from the last one, remember this from like 3 movies ago, remember this character, this character, this character, we're just kind of like zipping through.
Hmm.
But then there's a point in the movie, which I guess I won't spoil what it is here, but like somewhere around the middle movie, second act somewhere. From then on, it's pure cinema. I'm like, okay, I'm locked in.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Well, that's
yeah, I
cool. That's
really liked
exciting.
it.
I've never seen any of the Mission Impossible movies, so this isn't where I'm gonna start. But it sounds cool.
You know what?
Excited for you.
Uh, so the first one's very good. The second one, is divisive in a way that is a John Woo movie.
Ooh.
And
Hmm.
I think people are like mixed on the third one as well, but I think the third one's good. But like the rest on, it's not really a mixed bag. They're almost always solid. So
What number is this?
the eight, eight.
Okay, I was gonna say the first 8 didn't sound very confident. The second 8 though, very strong.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Did you do
yeah.
anything else this
It
week?
is. Oh, well, actually, yes. You and I both. We watched AEW Double or Nothing.
True, true. That was a good pay per view. I think we were both kind of on the same page for basically that whole thing. Where like
Yeah.
the first match was good, but then had a stupid ending, and then basically the rest
Yeah.
of the pay per view was fine to great.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And I went into it. I kept saying like because the Double or Nothing, the tradition match is the Anarchy in the Arena, which is essentially a bunch of people beat the shit out of each other all throughout the crowd and the
right.
ring and backstage, outside, wherever it just gets nuts.
This
And
I don't remember the other ones too well, so this might be a bold statement. I think this might be the
mhm.
best one. We've had
well,
what, 3?
I went into this one and I very confidently said, like, I think I'm over the Anarchy of the Arena
Mm,
stipulation. I don't really think I don't think we need it anymore. Like, I'm not really seeing, like, yeah, it's all fun and games and it gets rather violent, but I wasn't really hyped for this one.
hmm
And then by the time the match got like halfway through and all the storyline beatings kind of converged in the ring, I was like, well, that shut me up. It was awesome.
It was a really good match. I
Yeah.
I agree with you and I disagree with you at equal points. Where it's like I don't necessarily always love the Anarchy in the Arena. I think a couple of them have been like pretty whatever. Stadium Stampede I think generally was better, but also we don't have stadiums anymore, so like whatever.
And like, what else can you do? Same
Yeah,
kind of
because like
kind of
we
thing.
own they own the one arena, so like we've seen it. But I think both times it was at that same arena. I guess they could rent out, but you're not going to do like an AEW show in a football arena that you wouldn't it would be empty. You know what I mean? Like you
Well,
couldn't do that.
here's what I'm thinking they could and should do, although it'd be a lot of money, and I see why they don't do it.
Yeah.
Um, but you know what old people like to do, and what I would love to do one day, they tour sports arenas around the country, right?
Mhm.
Not just
Sure.
football, but like baseball, everything, every sport.
Sure.
So like we're we're doing Double or Nothing in New York this year. Well, let's go to the Yankee Stadium and do a bunch of
Down the
like
street,
baseball
we'll also
shenanigans.
have this there. You know, I do.
Yeah.
I vibe with that. I could see that being good. My thing is, Anarchy in the Arena might not be like my favorite gimmick match of all time, but I do think that that's something AEW needs to like establish more of, is like their specific like this is our event match,
Yeah.
right? Because I feel
Yeah.
like WWE, for all the guff I give them, uh, that's one of the things I really like about them is that they have like the Royal Rumble, they have Money in the Bank, they have Hell in a Cell, they have
Yeah.
Elimination Chamber. Well, Hell in a Cell, I guess everyone has that, but Elimination Chamber. And
Yeah. Yeah.
on the AEW side, they also have things like that, and I think a lot of them are good, but they just don't like really stand out as amazing. There's
Hmm.
Anarchy in the Arena, which I think is good, and then there's also the like the Casino Battle Royale. What is that called? Is that what it's called?
It's the casino. Well, they do casino, like I think they've done gauntlets as well. But yeah, the battle royal where the four decks of cards all come out,
Yeah. So they've got
and then there's
those
the Joker.
two, and I'm sure there's other ones I'm forgetting about, but those are like the ones that immediately come to mind. I think that that's something that they need to focus in on, especially now that they're doing more pay-per-views as their like TV deals and shit get bigger.
Yeah,
I think that they need to establish a couple more like event matches. You know what I mean?
I
They need
agree.
their answer to Elimination Chamber. You know what I mean?
They need something.
Just steal it. Honestly, I don't care. It's
They need they need something to capture that like annual excitement of the Royal Rumble. It's like, oh, it's Rumble
yeah,
season. Who's gonna show
because
up? Kind of thing.
they have done a smart thing now with the Owen, which is now that is basically their Money in the Bank, and I like
Yeah,
that. That's good. It's good that
I
that now
like
has
though.
like impact.
Well, they also have that. whatever that they can cash in exactly like the Money in the Bank.
Yeah, but I don't remember how he got that. I don't
Yeah, I don't
remember
remember. I don't
where
remember where.
Christian got that contract from. But yeah,
But
I think that was a pretty a really really good pay per view. Not maybe not great, but really really good. Especially I guess what was it, the last two matches, the Anarchy in the Arena and the Osprey Hangman match. Osprey
oh,
Hangman is like
absolutely.
that might be a match of the year contender. I'm just saying.
Man,
I think that one was
it
crazy.
was it was really good,
So
really good.
it's I cannot wait for All In. Is what I'm saying. We're gonna see there
Yeah,
the Dynamite afterwards. There was a moment where Osprey, Swerve, and Hangman were all in the ring together, and I was like, we're gonna
yeah, I
see
saw
all of
that.
those dudes. We're gonna see
I
all of
saw
those
that.
dudes at All In, and I'm gonna scream so
And
loud.
we're gonna start an official Ready Set Replay petition. Make sure that Swerve Strickland has a staple gun in his hand at all
Oh my
times.
god, it was so good.
Make that is his thing, and you can't. No one can top him with that.
He there was a bit because I'm sure basically nobody watching this watched the pay per view.
Nope.
Uh, there was a bit where he got the staple gun and people kept coming at him and it was like, okay, how's he gonna get him with the staple gun? Because one guy like jumped at him and he hit him in the neck while he was flying. Another
Yeah,
guy what got him first, or I forget exactly how, but Swerve ended up on his knees and he hit, was it
that
Nick
was
Jackson in the balls with
I,
the staple gun?
it was one of the young bucks. Yeah,
Like
staple is Willie.
stapled his willy straight to his pants. It was great. That what a great, maybe the first couple minutes of it I had notes about, but everything after that, basically once the Young Bucks music stopped, I was in.
Yeah, there's a running gimmick with this particular match where they just play music the whole time,
Yeah,
and it tends to start with like whoever comes out last, their music just doesn't stop, but then it'll get changed to something. And
yeah, yeah.
seemingly out of nowhere, I don't know the setup for this, but they started playing "I'm So Excited" and I just can't hide it.
Right. Well, I
Uh,
because they were playing the Young Bucks like weird stupid flute thing because they came out as like the founding fathers, and
yeah, yeah,
then I think they were just like, okay, well we need something else, so they stuck that in, and then eventually they switched it to probably the best song that they've had for one of these, which was, is it just called? It's not called Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. That's a movie. Is it just
yeah.
called Bodies? Is that what the song's called?
Bodies, the colloquially known as "Let the Bodies Hit the Floor"
Let
by
the bodies hit
Drowning
the floor.
Pool.
It was,
Yeah, and it was like it might sound cringe on paper, just that it's like really 2025, but
yeah.
it's just the way like Kenny Omega grabs the mic and
I would like
he's
good
like,
music,
listen,
please.
this ain't fitting the vibe, so
Yeah,
we're gonna get some some early 2000s alt rock in this bitch.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I honestly I could have done without the Kenny Omega calling for it bit. Maybe somebody, I don't know. Maybe if like Swerve had done it, it would have been cooler. I don't know. Regardless of how we got there, though, the crowd when
Yeah,
Bodies started playing, the biggest pop.
yeah,
It was
it's so
so
crazy. Yeah,
good. Everyone was like,
yeah.
yeah. Um, but yeah, great pay per view. Is that so? That's everything for you this week.
Yeah, Mission Impossible, Double or Nothing. Those
Good
are the
week.
two
Good
big
week.
things. I don't think I did anything else that I can talk about legally yet.
Right. True. 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 Because of the lawsuits. I also watched Still or Nothing, but then I played Blueprints. I finished Blueprints. That's Prince, not Prints. Although it is a pun because it's both. You know this game. Yeah, you watched your brother play this, so you know this to some extent at
Yeah,
least. Uh, it's a
I don't
game.
think shit out of it. Yeah.
It is a puzzle roguelike deck builder pipe dream game, which is a
Hmm.
weird combination of things. And the goal of it is you play this kid who inherits a mansion from his uncle, but every time you open a door, you have to draw a card. You draw three cards and you have to choose between those three cards what room is in that door. And each room that you draw will have some other number of doors inside it. And so you have to sort of plot out this path through the 45 boxes that make up this basically plot of land so that you can get to the end of the building and get into the 46th room. And that's how you receive your inheritance and win the game,
Huh.
which is cool. That's a cool idea. The problem is that I hate it.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
is. Um, the puzzles in it are fine. I don't think they particularly stand out. They're some of them are ridiculous and are just like completely unfair. The majority of them are fine, but where they become not fine is that the deck builder roguelike part of the game completely ruins it, I feel.
Hmm.
Because roguelike means that every single time that you hit a dead end and you can't go any further, you reset the game and the entire house gets wiped and you lose everything.
Right.
And the deck builder means that you have no control over what rooms show up in your house that day. The problem is you'll find a puzzle and the solution to that puzzle will go to a different room, or you'll need to do something in two different rooms at the same time to solve one puzzle. And there's no way to guarantee on any particular day that you're going to get any of those rooms. And so you end up just, okay, well, I spent an hour and a half on this run and I didn't get any of the rooms I need, so I can't do anything today. This was just a waste of an hour and a half where nothing has happened. And it sucks. Like it's such a bummer because every time that I had like a aha, I figured out this puzzle, it was immediately followed by an ah shit because the room that I need to get to isn't there, and then I won't get it, or like I won't get the keys that I need to be able to open up a door to get into the next thing, and it just becomes like it makes progress and solving these puzzles so obtuse and so unfun that it's just not worth anybody's time. Truly, like it is so it is quite possibly the least fun game I've played this year. Like every single time that I loaded up and did a new run, I was like, is this going to be the one where anything useful happens? And 99% of the time, the answer was obviously no.
Hmm.
It was really, really genuinely upsetting. And what's more upsetting about it is that I'm clearly like super far on the outs as far as the like general consensus of this game goes because it's got like a 92
Right.
on Metacritic. So
Yeah, it's people like it.
so after I finished it, I was looking up videos about it because I got into the 46 room. I finished the game. I rolled credits and I was like, I think I'm done. There's more you can do after the credits. And I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
It took me, for anyone who cares, like 36 days to do it. It looks like the average is like 20-ish or something for people who are like just trying to get to that door. But a lot of people that I was reading on reviews went as many as like 90 to 100 days before they even got into the
Ooh.
46 room. So it's a crazy widespread because it's all RNG. There's no way of really controlling it. But I was watching these videos of people talking about it, and one of them would be like, you just have to grow up to play Blueprints. Like, if you're playing
Huh.
Blueprints and you think that you lost, then, like, what do you mean you lost? You didn't die. And it's like, brother, I spent 4 hours and got nothing done because the game didn't roll the dice in the correct way to give me the one room that I need to do the one thing that I want to do. I don't care that, like, oh, but in this run I got a new building and that added it to my collection of like my Roomodex that does absolutely dick ass shit nothing for me. Like, oh yeah, I made progress. Now when I start the game I can get one more coin if I go to this room at the right time if it shows up. Like it doesn't I don't care about that. I'm glad that that little breadcrumbing of useful shit is like worth it to you. But like I've got shit to do with my life. I can't I can't be do. There are no two words that you can append to the end of a description of a video game that will turn me off more than roguelike deck builder. Either of those two games, like think of the Kingdom Hearts games. What's the worst one? The one where you have to build
Uh,
a deck.
yeah. Yeah. Chain of memories.
Like every single time that I'm playing a game and they're like, here's the card part, and I'm like, God.
Yeah.
Or like, hey, would you like to play a game where you make no progress until the one time that you finally get it right and win? No, that sounds like hell. That sounds terrible, actually.
Well, sounds like you just need to grow up to play
I
Blueprints.
mean,
That's what it sounds like.
apparently, I'm just not an adult, I'm sorry that I can't spend like 90 hours slamming my balls in the car door that is this game to get the quote unquote true ending. Like
You know
the
what? I'll say I'm on your side on the true ending thing. You rolled credit, you beat the game. Like
I'm
don't
done.
listen to them.
Although
Don't.
the thing that does annoy me about it is this isn't a spoiler, but maybe it's a little bit of a spoiler. So like if you super care, I'm sorry. But there's when you get to the 46th room, you don't actually get to the 46th room because the game resets there. You have to get to it a second time to actually go into it and do the thing that's in there. And I think that
Oh
sucks
hell yeah.
also. That's kind of bullshit. It's like with how much work I had to put in to get into that stupid ass room because so there's the 46th room which is like off the end of this 5 by 9 grid of rooms.
Right.
And the door to it is blocked by an antechamber that has 4 doors attached to it and all of those 4 doors are locked. And to unlock those doors, you have to draft specific rooms that have a lever in it that you can pull to open those doors, right?
Hmm.
In the entire like 36 times that I played this game in my runs, I think I drafted one of those rooms maybe 5 times. They seem incredibly rare.
Uh, yeah, I
So I
feel
didn't even
like
have the opportunity to get into that room if provided I could get the resources to actually get that far into the house and happen to get a door that leads up to the one of those 3 doors that I actually managed to unlock because it is specific.
yeah,
I
yeah.
only had 4 options or 5 options maybe, to ever even get into that room after 20 hours of gameplay.
I'm pretty sure I heard about this, like certain cards that you need being incredibly hard to pull, and then they patched it to make it easier. But I mean, you still might have played this after that, so
I I
I don't
played it
know.
after that patch. The room that they patched to make it more frequent is the boiler room, which helps with a certain puzzle, but it doesn't do anything to get into the 46 room.
Hmm.
It is not one of the rooms that you need for the 46 room, and I don't think it's directly related to any of them. It helps you do a puzzle that lets you start the game with 2 gems, which are nice. You need gems to like open certain doors, so that helps. But 2 gems
Yeah.
is like one door. It's like one room draft, and then it's gone. So it really doesn't do that much. I don't know, man. It's irritating. And then on top of all of that, they also give you this like limitation of how many steps you can take in the house. So every time that you go from one room to another, there's a currency of steps that drops down by one. And so it's like, okay, it's just too many. It's too many roadblocks of like, you have to draw the
You got
right room in the right order on the right day when you have these correct things. You have to figure out these puzzles that are spread throughout 10 different rooms that you may or may not ever draft. You have to open these doors that are specifically locked with levers. One of the levers is broken and you have to find that somewhere else, which is nonsense. Like, there's just so much obfuscation and like distraction from just doing the puzzles. And I love puzzles. I'm an escape
yeah.
room guy. I love doing that. But this is just like so unfun. There are
It
so many levels of nonsense between here's a puzzle and here is me figuring out how to solve it.
sounds like uh, it's almost too like intense for what you wanted it to be. Like you said, the roadblocks, the rules to follow, like
Yeah.
the steps, the cards, everything. Where you would just rather casually do the
It's
puzzles.
just too much. You know what I mean? Because it's like I think if any one of those things was in there, if you had to do the deck building, if you had to do, you know, the roguelike element, if you had the steps, if you just took out one or two of those 3 things, or even like some of the currencies, if you didn't have to do like gems to draft certain rooms, if you took out that and the steps, it's infinitely a better game immediately. Because like the puzzle solving aspect of it is fine. Like I said, some of them are absolute bullshit, but that's true of every puzzle game. Most of them are
Hmm.
fine.
Yeah.
It's the only problem that I have with these puzzles is that it's like, oh well, in order to solve this one, I have to get the drawing room, and I haven't seen the drawing room in 5 hours.
Right.
So, and I have to have the drawing room and the boiler room at the same time, or it doesn't matter. So even when I do draw the drawing room, if I don't draw the boiler room, then I'm screwed again. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
I I would love to see you play this game in particular. I think you would hate it.
Well, that's that. You know what? I can now never let you watch me play this game.
Do you like it?
Now,
Have you been playing
now
it?
I no, I've never, I
Okay.
haven't played it, and what I was going to say is like, well, I'll have to play it to let you know. But like, I'm not gonna let you watch me do it. You're gonna be you're like, yeah, see, that is bullshit. I'm like, you're stressing me out. Leave me alone.
I
I'm gonna hide. I'm gonna play this in a closet, hidden in the dark.
ooh. But if you don't draw the closet, how are you going to hide in it?
That's a good point. That's a damn good point.
Well, Skyler, let's get into the news here.
Hmm.
The first one I got here is sort of a fun one. I don't know how much of a fan you are of the Persona series. I don't think you've played any of
I've
them.
never played a single one,
So they
but
recently
I've always wanted to.
released. They're good. 3, 4, and 5 are good.
Uh,
1 and 2 are old in a way
yeah.
that they just like don't hold up. There's a lot of like quality of life things that are missing from those games that make them just like kind of unfun. But
Hmm.
they're still good. The writing is great in all of them. Persona 3 got remade last year, I think, and
Right.
was very well received. And so people were like, "Are they doing a 4 remake?" Because 4 is the one that was like the big breakout success of the series. And it turns out, yes, it's been rumored for a little while, but now it's been accidentally confirmed by Yuri Lowenthal, who confirmed that it existed and then also said that he's not in it, which is another big story coming out of it. But I feel like
I
that
see that.
makes sense, unfortunately, that he's not in it for two reasons. Number one, I didn't play the Persona 3 remake, so I don't know. But I do think it is possible that they're just reusing the voice lines from the first games. And if so, they don't need to bring him back. They probably still have to pay him legally, but like they don't have to like bring him back to do stuff. I don't know.
Sure.
The other aspect of it is since Persona 4 came out, the entire cast of Persona 4 has become way more expensive. Like way more expensive. Because it's Yuri
Who's in it?
Lowenthal,
You
Johnny
right.
Young Bosch,
Okay.
Laura Bailey, Troy Baker,
Yeah.
Sam
Oh.
Riegel.
Oh.
It like and the list goes on. It is like half the cast of Critical Role and Troy Baker.
Yeah. And Indiana
So
Jones himself.
and Indiana Jones himself. So it's like I get it because this is a remake of a relatively niche game franchise. I don't know necessarily how much you can expect from it sales wise, and so it's like I I would prefer that we got this cast back, but I'm not mad that we didn't. It's not like any of these people are hurting for work. To be clear, it's not like oh my
Hmm.
god, how's Johnny Young Bosch gonna feed his kids? He's only every anime character ever. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily mind like giving somebody else a run at these characters, but I would certainly prefer if we got the original cast back. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah. No, I get
How
that
do you feel about
100%.
recasting in these sort of things? I know you don't care about this particular thing, but
Uh, yeah. It's a good question. I mean, I guess it's allowed. It depends on the person's availability
mhm.
and the dare I say artistic direction. Something very much on our minds of late have been Resident Evil games. So like look at those for example. Like you get new I mean those are ground up remakes really. So we're doing things very different. You know, we got people in motion capture and scan in their faces and then we get
Right. There's
different people doing the voices.
a
So like
lot
there's
more
a lot of
involved in
different
that.
elements that weren't there originally. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it just depends creatively on if they want to do something or so yeah, if it's like a budgetary thing, that's kind of wiener and balls, right? but
But I get it.
yeah, no, I understand. I don't know, would you when you hear like remake and
Mhm.
then you buy the game and then you realize like, oh, it's all the same voice lines, is that like a bummer? Is that like okay? A good example
Yeah.
is the Oblivion one that just came out. Like people are very happy, rightfully so to an extent, that they left all the original voice lines, including the
The bad ones.
outtake ones, the
Yeah.
bad ones,
And then just added new
because
ones on top of it.
they're saying you know if you would fix that, then it wouldn't be Oblivion anymore. But then also it's a remake, but you know you didn't really remake it. You made it prettier. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's
The
interesting philosophically, isn't it?
the voice lines are an aspect of it where I don't need those redone necessarily. You're not going to give me the voice lines in 4K. You know what I mean? Like it's not going to make
Yeah,
a huge
yeah.
difference to me in terms of my gameplay aspect of it. Another part of this that I think for me personally makes this particular instance of recasting less bad, I guess, is that
Mhm.
for a lot of these people, maybe not Johnny Young Bosch, but for a lot of them, this was like I'm not going to say a breakout role for them, but it was one of their like early career things. Like Laura Bailey was relatively new at the time. Troy Baker was relatively new, and this was, I think, one of the first games they did that like really put them on the map. As far as I'm aware, it put them on the
Mhm.
map for me. Is I guess what I'll say. And now that they're all huge name people, giving a new generation of voice actors the opportunity to get that same rub,
Right.
I think is kind of
Right.
cool. Assuming that they're
Yeah.
good. If the voice acting comes in this and it's bad, then this conversation's moot because if it's bad, I like that sucks.
Yeah. Then you shouldn't have changed it.
Yeah. But assuming it's good or at least okay, then I don't know, I'm okay with this, I think.
Yeah. It's I agree with you.
Hell yeah. Well, in other news of the video game variety, we've got EA canceling that Black Panther game.
More
Uh,
canceled games.
yeah, so this one's interesting for a number of reasons. Number one, there's two Black Panther games in works right now. This one just got
Right.
canceled, and the Amy Hennig Skydance one got delayed until next year. It was supposed to come out this year, I guess, and it got pushed back until next year. It is up in the air whether or not that one is actually in trouble, so I won't pass judgment on this one. This one is canceled, and also the studio involved, Cliffhanger Games, has been shut down. They are closed.
Right.
I believe they were owned by EA. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I am like 95% sure on that. And it's weird. They laid off Cliffhanger, and they're also laying off more people across their mobile and core teams, which we don't know how many that is. They haven't told us what it is. It seems like it's going to be less than 300 people, which is the number of people that they laid off last month when they canceled the project over at Respawn. But it was reported in March of this year that EA was actually up in employment from March of the previous year, which would have been before the 300 and before however many they laid off here. So what it feels like is that they're laying off people. They hired all these people, and now they're laying off these people to pay those people to like keep the number equivalent, and that feels weird. That feels really weird. But I imagine it's happened before. Presumably, they're still going to be up in terms of overall employment. Not that that makes it any better for the however many people are ended up laying off at the end of this. But it's just this weird situation of like, could you not have moved those people over to just a different team? You needed to fire these people and hire new people? Was there like a locational thing? Like, I need more information about this that we just don't have. But it feels
Yeah.
weird to me.
Yeah. I agree.
You know,
I don't have a lot of specific input
that's
I'm
fine.
just gonna let you go off.
They also said as part of this, Laura Meal came out and she had a statement about it because they usually do whenever there's layoffs. And she said that they are focusing on a smaller number of specific franchises right now while everything economically is like very uncertain. They're focusing on things that they believe are guaranteed to do at least decently well.
Mhm.
And those things are Battlefield, The Sims, Skate, and Apex Legends. So they're focusing on those. Within, it's worth noting that's not including the sports games because EA Sports is a separate division that she's not in charge of. She's only
Yeah,
in charge
yeah.
of EA Entertainment, which is everything else. She also said that they're still the Black Panther game was part of a 3-game deal with Marvel, and they are evidently still working on the other two. So I'm not sure. There might have been maybe this Black Panther game just wasn't coming together. They weren't feeling good about how it was going to turn out. We only know about one of the other two games, which is Motive is making an Iron Man game, which presumably will use a
The
lot of the same tech that they created for Anthem, which I guess is
the
cool. That was like the one thing that people generally liked about Anthem was it feels fun to fly around in the suit. So if you just put that into an Iron Man game, that could be good.
Yeah, sure. The
The
verbiage
third
on
one
that
we
is
don't know.
weird.
Yeah.
The verbiage on three game deal and
Yeah.
then you just throw one in the garbage. Well, don't you still owe one?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question, and again, we don't have clarification on it. Is like that might mean that they are contractually obligated to create a third Marvel game
You would
somewhere
think
else.
so.
So who knows? Genuinely, who knows? But it's a weird time, and it's a bad time to be a Black Panther fan with the one getting delayed. What, like 2 weeks ago, last week, something recently, and
Yeah.
now this one being fully canceled. Like a month ago, Black Panther fans were expecting to eat good, and now they might not eat at all.
Well, don't I mean, I feel like in today's day and age, a delayed game is people. Well, I mean, people with two brain cells to rub together. They're like, "Eh, delay it. That just means you'll have more time to make it better, right?" Like,
Sure, yeah,
yeah, it sucks I won't get it for Christmas, but maybe I'll get it next summer. That kind of thing.
right. Miyamoto
But
quote.
what was his quote? What did he say?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Miyamoto has this quote that people throw around constantly in the game space, which is a delayed game is eventually good, a canceled game is never
Oh,
good, or something like that.
right. Yes, I do know that quote. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. I mean, I'm not to say that people aren't out there being like, I wanted it now." It's just like, well, let's be adults here. Just wait.
Yeah.
So that one, I'll take that. I guess you know what? That Miyamoto quote's probably getting thrown around an awful lot right now about Black Panther.
Brother, it's been getting thrown around for a decade. You cannot turn a page over on IGN and not see that Miyamoto quote in the comments somewhere. But you know what else is crazy?
Yeah.
What's up? It's the part of the show where Daniel takes over the show for his own bullshit for 10 to 20 minutes.
Here we go.
The Survivor 50 cast has been revealed, and I'm so excited. And I just can't hide it. So, lyrics of the song. A lot of people have problems with this cast. I understand their feeling on it and respectfully disagree. Although I don't, the points that they're bringing up aren't necessarily bad. Okay, so this season is called In the Hands of the Fans. We're voting on a bunch of stuff, not the people who are in the show, but just like how many idols are there going to be? What is the challenges going to look like? Do we give them rice or not? Things like that. And so people are like, we should have been able to choose who the castaways were, and I think that's fair to an extent. But they were also like, it's weird that half of the casting is people from the modern era, which is 40 on, and the other half is people from before that. The returning season is 50, so that half of the cast is comprised of people from the last 10 seasons, and then the remaining 30 seasons get the same number. You know what I mean? So people are confused about that. And also, there's nobody on the cast who had their first time playing the game between seasons 19 and 31. And so people are like, if this is supposed to be representative of like all of Survivor history, you missed a pretty big chunk there. And I think all of those complaints are fair. I think that that's totally fair. But I don't super care. I think the casting is really good. Are there people that I would have, other people who didn't get cast who I would have loved to have seen in this? Yeah, of course. Like, I would have loved to see Boston Rob and Parvati and Sandra and all these people. I don't know why James isn't here, frankly. I don't know what he's doing. But, like, I'm not mad to see these people. You know what I mean?
Right.
To go through the people here, I sent you a picture. I won't talk about
I'm
all of them
looking
because
at it.
a lot of them probably don't really have a ton of stuff worth talking about, especially since I don't think
Well,
you've watched like any Survivor ever. But our boy Joe made the
I've
cut.
never watched. I see that. RSR sponsored Joe from Survivor 48.
Hmm. As well as
It
the guy
says.
who beat him, Kyle, and the girl who helped him beat him, Camilla, all from season 48.
Oh,
Which, is it weird that 3 people from one
that's not
season are
fair.
here? Yes, but it's happened 3 times because you'll notice there's also 3 people from season 46, Tiffany, Q, and Charlie. One of my favorite seasons, 46, though, so I'm not mad about it. And then there's also 3 people from David versus Goliath, Christian, Angelina, and Mike.
Yeah. One of which I recognize.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Do you recognize Mike White here?
This is a shock to me. I looked at this guy's pasty face and I'm
Yeah.
like, is that the guy? Okay, here's how my brain works.
Right, you
I'm like, is
said.
that the guy from School of Rock?
I knew that's where your touchstone was gonna be, but
He's
yes,
he's the writer of White Lotus,
big
and
popular show.
he does a lot of screenwriting type stuff. And I guess he was on Survivor. These are
He
things
was
I'm
on
learning today.
he was on Survivor. He was a finalist. He did really well. He's a fan favorite. I don't necessarily need to see him. He's one of the ones where I'm like, I could have done without Mike. I'm not mad that he's here because I love Mike, but I'm also like, there's other people I would have seen maybe over him, or you know what I mean? Because it's like he's already like super rich and wealthy and has all these stuff going for him. Like, I don't know that he needs this. He has a very different energy. They read this in order as it appears in the picture that I sent you, which is the order that they first appeared in the show. So Jenna at the top, she's from season 1. She's from Borneo, the absolute first season to ever happen. And I don't necessarily know that she was like the fan favorite. She was up there for that season. She's one of the only ones that came back. She returned in, I think, All Stars. She's great. Colby was my first favorite Survivor player, Colby Donaldson from the Australian Outback. He also appeared in at least 2 other seasons. He appeared in All Stars and Heroes and Villains. He was my hero for a long time. When I wrote my college entrance exams or whatever, and they were like, write about a hero of yours. No joke, I wrote one of them about him because I love him so much.
That is cute.
Thank you. Stephanie LaGrossa from Palau is the only person in Survivor history to ever become a tribe of 1. Every other person on her tribe
Well,
got voted out, and they still didn't merge. And so she had to be a tribe in and of herself. She's a badass. She's an
that
absolute
seems
legend.
unfair.
Suri, Suri Fields, she's like the queen of all reality TV. You cannot avoid Suri in reality TV. She's been on Traders, she's been on Big Brother, she's been on Snake in the Grass, and she has now played, including this season, she will have played Survivor 6 times. She's a legend. I love Suri so much. She is so much fun.
Ooh.
Uh, she's she's also the only person here who also played on Australian Survivor, which is objectively a physically way harder version of Survivor. It's significantly longer and it's a lot more physically inclined in terms of the challenges. So her
And Grayson Waller was on it.
he was on it. And we don't know how she's done yet because her season has not come out yet. But her season was Australia versus the world, which was one team of people from Australian Survivor and one team of people from every other English speaking version of Survivor.
Hmm.
And she was chosen among all of those as like one of the representatives. I think that's great. You've got Ozzy from Cook Islands. He's another huge fan favorite. People loved him for a long time. I don't necessarily. He's casting is weird to me because he's already played I think like 5 times, so we don't necessarily need to see him again. And I feel like every time we've seen him, it has been less impactful because he has not grown or changed. Um, and he might have recently started an OnlyFans, uh,
Nice.
where he does big sex on the regs. So it's like
Nice.
I don't necessarily know that we like needed to get Ozzy back, but that's fine.
He's got a rep. He's got to get it out there. He's got to.
Yeah, he's gonna tattoo his OnlyFans ad on his butthole.
Well, no, if you're seeing that, you don't need. You've already
You've already
purchased.
subscribed. That's true. You're
So
right.
yeah, you got to get it tattooed somewhere you can that the sun shines.
Coach Wade here was a great villain. People love him. He's the dragon killer. He one time accidentally low key started like kind of a cult in South Pacific. That was a weird season. He's great. He is so much. He is chaos. He is the chaos man, and he doesn't know it. He's that guy where he's like, I fight with honor, and I'm great, and everything. Uh, I only do what is honorable and just. But then at the same time, he's doing like the most backhanded stuff you've ever seen in the game.
They have dragons on Survivor,
No, he I think in that
or
instance
you know,
was
they not anymore because he
referring.
killed them.
Yeah, well, he's played multiple times too, and so whenever he's like voted out some bigger name people, and he's like, I slayed the dragon, and so he became the dragons. It's a whole thing. Those are the big names. Those are like the legends. Everyone else in here is newer. Aubrey's great. She's played now 4 times. She had like a really big transformation that everyone loved, where she started as this like anxiety riddled like woman who could not figure out like how to do the game, and she was like really uncomfortable to come back to be a finalist, and just her transformation was amazing. Chrissy, I'll be honest with you, I barely remember her. She's I think the maybe the weirdest one here for me in terms of like why we chose her. I do know she was big in Heroes, Healers, Hustlers. She didn't win, but people like her. I don't really remember her. Christian Ubicki from David versus Goliath, he was good, but I feel like his shtick gets old. But this is only his second time playing, so you know people haven't seen him in a long time. Maybe it's fine. Angelina, I just don't like. Angelina is the one where I'm like, I don't need Angelina. Her big thing that people remember her for is that she voted somebody out, and then when they were walking away, she asked that person if she could have their jacket, and they ignored her. And that's like her big claim to fame, is that like she was just unaware socially of the fact that like no, that lady's not going to give you her jacket.
Oh,
And I'm like, we put a spot on Angelina. That's strange to me. She for me is the big like we didn't need that. You obviously know Mike White. We don't need to talk about Mike White. Rick Devens one time trash talked my fantasy football team, which I didn't appreciate.
that's the guy.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
our friend
Then
Abrar.
we gotta root
Um,
for him.
I do love Rick Devens, but we have beef that he doesn't know about. Where our friend
He knows. He
Abrar,
called you out.
true, but he doesn't remember. It was a cameo.
He was paid to call you out, but he still did it.
True. Our friend Abrar, when we did our first fantasy league together, bought a cameo from Rick Devens because he knows I'm a big Survivor fan. Where Rick Devens trash talked my team and just basically reamed me out, and I didn't appreciate it, but also loved it. So, Jonathan Young, the huge buff guy there down at the bottom for 42, he is Lex Luger's bodyguard.
Oh yes, I believe you mentioned this to me.
So he's also like a Marine and all this other stuff. But like the big claim to fame is that he is Lex Luger's bodyguard, which is great. Emily was again sort of a similar situation to Aubrey, where she started and people hated her because she was just like really obtuse and abrasive, but then she had this whole transformation. It was great. Dee won her season and was extremely dominant. She's just like a powerhouse player. Tiffany was hilarious. Q's insane. I love both of them. 46 is like one of my favorite seasons, so I don't want to spoil too much about that season for you because that's one that I'm probably going to make you watch at some point. Charlie's the GOAT. Love Charlie. Genevieve from 47 was my favorite person from that season, and it was also a really good season, so I'm glad to see her back. I don't need 3 people from 48. I think I would have maybe just taken Joe. I think we could have cut Camilla and Kyle, even though I think that they were really the only people in that season who were like really heavily strategizing. I also think like they just won, and I don't need to see them again. And then we have 2 people from 49 that haven't been announced yet, but we do know who they are because people stalked the airplane that just flew out to Fiji to see who was on it. And so we know who they are, even though it hasn't been announced yet. But there's no point in me saying who they are because A, it's a spoiler, and B, their season hasn't aired, so I don't know anything about them.
Right.
But Survivor's such a big thing that people were like, we know what plane it is. We're going to see who gets on it. I think that's
what they do.
insane. So I'm super excited for this. It's the first returnee season we've had in like a decade. We haven't done returnee seasons in so long. This is a great cast. Is it the perfect cast? No. Is it the cast I would have chosen? No. But I'm in love with it. I am in love with when they announced Colby, Stephanie, Suri back to back to back. I was screaming. I was on my feet, screaming, pissing, and crying. I was having it. And then we got down to 46 and we got my girl Tiff, Q, and Charlie. Those were like the 2 blocks of just like winning. And Genevieve, I love all of that. Everybody else, it's like I love most of them. There's other people that I could have taken or replaced them with and I would have also been happy. But like, I'm thrilled. I will say early predictions, I think either the winner is going to be Charlie or Aubrey. I think that is the most likely. Although Charlie was recent, so he might get a target on him fast. So I'm going to say I lean more heavily to Aubrey. I think Aubrey's going to win.
Do we have, is it too soon to say who we officially sponsor in this lineup? Are we going Joe again, or are we,
Well, you don't know any of them. So as far as I'm concerned, you can pick whoever you want.
Well, I mean, okay. I am inclined to
Yeah.
go with the 2 that I know, being School of Rock
Okay.
and guy who yelled at you during fantasy football.
Okay, if Mike and Rick become not a couple, an alliance,
That's
if
the
they couple
kiss.
up and make out and it's real cute and they cuddle together in the bungalow, I'll be so happy. I genuinely think like their energy together would be awesome. Rick Devens, for the record, is known mostly for finding so many idols. He found like every advantage in Edge of Extinction. It was insane. We love Rick Devens. We respect Rick Devens in this house.
All right. Rick Devens. We're gonna say. Do we want to pick a male and a female survivalist?
Sure, yeah, let's do Aubrey and Rick. I think that's
All
where
right,
we landed.
Aubrey and Rick. They get the ready, set, replay seal of approval coming into this, so that'll be fun.
Although I will say, the person that I think I want to win the most is Suri Fields. This will be her 6th time playing. She's made it to the end at least once that I'm aware of in Micronesia, and she has never won, and she deserves it so much. And I love her. She's like one of my favorite people in all of reality TV. If her or Colby win, which I don't expect, because Colby I don't think is great at the social aspect of it, and Suri I think is a huge target. I just don't see people not voting her out. But if either of them win, I will begin to glow and flow into low Earth orbit like the first man missile ever created. I will be filled with so much joy and happiness. If Colby wins Survivor 50, I will die. I will die.
All right. Well, Colby, don't kill him. Don't kill the man. But
I'll be so happy. Ugh. Okay, now that I've taken up all of your time, and I appreciate you humoring me, let's talk about that Harry Potter casting. The actual casting that everyone listening to this is going to care about.
Yeah, you had to wait or skip for it, but
Yeah, sorry. I needed to talk about Survivor. I'm very happy about the way this is like we haven't had a return new season in so long, and this one looks so good, and I'm pumped. I'm so pumped. But yeah, why don't you lead the casting here because I don't know these people.
okay. So the main one is we've seen the three kids whose lives are going to be absolutely ruined by being put into the HBO Harry Potter whatever. There's no listen. Somebody has to protect these kids. Like child actors, they exist and they always existed and they're gonna keep existing.
Yeah.
And
Well,
but
the
like
the
we live
Hermione
in an
actress is gonna
age
get it the worst for
we
a
live in an
lot of reasons.
age where it is the adults' responsibility to protect these children. Say you're not allowed to have a Twitter account.
Yeah. Are kids
Just
still signing up for Twitter, you think? Or are they just going
I don't
straight to
know.
TikTok and Insta?
No idea. They shouldn't have any of it, to be honest.
It's
They
true.
don't do it. Not only is it not worth it, but now you're a target,
Yeah.
whether you're good or bad or whatever. Y- Oh, so remember all the inappropriate things that adults were saying about the kids from Stranger Things?
Yeah. I do think
It's,
that this will be slightly less as far as that's concerned.
oh
Um,
man.
but I don't know, man.
All
It's gonna
right.
be weird.
Well,
You
protect
wanna
the children,
yeah.
but the Harry Potter will be played by Dominic McLaughlin.
Good pronunciation. I'm
Herm
pretty sure that's
Hermione
yeah.
is played by Arabella Stanton,
Hmm.
and Ron Weasley is played by Alistair Stout. Now, I didn't look up information because I assumed that for the most part these are just kids.
Yeah, these are
They just auditioned,
new.
and they're not. It's still like, oh, what has this kid been in? I don't know. He's 6, so
I do know
he's
Arabella
probably like 12.
Stanton. I looked her up a little bit because I was like, oh, who is this? She has done like stage musical productions. That's
Makes
what she
sense.
has on her IMDb. And I don't know what any of them are because I'm not that guy, but
No.
she has some experience in that realm. I don't know how much stage musical performance is going to carry over here, but clearly they cast her, so they must feel good about it. I my big thing with these three is that I feel like, and maybe I'm crazy, I do feel like they look younger than the original casting. I don't even know if that's true, but it feels true. Does that make sense? Am I
Yeah,
crazy?
maybe.
They look like
Is
actual babies.
is that because
Because I'm old now? Yeah,
uh
probably.
we are old, and the kids who were originally in Harry Potter are now also old. I believe slightly older than us. Whereas these other kids, like they have that Gen Z, Gen Alpha iPad face.
Mm,
You're like, I cannot picture you as an adult. It'll happen one day, maybe, but I don't
yeah.
know. Is that part of it?
It's entirely probable. I don't know. It's the Weasley kid looks fine. Alistair Stout looks pretty much the same, honestly, as Rupert Grint in the picture that I'm looking at here. Uh, so like age wise, that seems fine. The one that really gets me is Arabella Stanton. Like the smile that she's giving me is like I haven't lost all these teeth yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but maybe she hasn't.
I don't know that I don't think that's a bad thing. I mean, obviously, she what grade is she supposed to be in the first book? It's I think she's like
They're
10,
11.
11. Okay,
They're 11. Yeah.
something like that, right? And so it's like yeah, that's probably about right. But then at the same time, I'm also like, maybe we should have cast a little bit older because like they're gonna be doing some crazy shit, and I don't know that I'm gonna want to see babies doing that shit. Because I had this same
Uh
problem with the Percy Jackson TV show where I was like,
oh,
the
kids are
ages
too
are
young.
cast correctly. This is how old they are supposed to be, but they look like babies,
Mm, hmm
and that throws me off because I'm like, I don't want the babies to do this. This is dangerous.
Yeah. There's a big dog with 3
There's a
heads. Look
big
out, little
dog.
baby. Yeah.
Edge from WWE is here, and he's not a friend.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure they're fine. Like I have no problem. I'm sure their acting is as good as. I mean, there's no way that they could have predicted that the people that they cast for the original cast would end up being good. So
No,
we'll
yeah.
probably roll in the dice here, but I assume that they'll probably be fine. But yeah, they got a lot of weight on their shoulders for 11
And
year olds stepping into
I
these are big shoes.
don't envy these children at all.
No.
Um,
And
all
I
right.
will, and I regret to say, I will probably be critical of their performances because I really like Harry Potter.
I am not convinced that I will be watching this.
I will. Yeah, unfortunately, I
Yeah,
will.
that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just, I don't know. I mean, obviously, we live in an age where anytime you consume any form of Harry Potter media or anything, it's just like you can't talk about it without talking about
How
good
J.K.
old
Rowling sucks ass.
awful Joanne. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she's
So,
a terrible person.
yeah, you know
Um,
what? We do not give J.K. Rowling the RSR stamp of approval. We give her the stamp
no.
of get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. I I am unable to completely like boycott the Harry Potter franchise as a result of how terrible she is because it was such a big part of my childhood. But
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that I am okay with the shit that she does or says.
Hmm.
She's got to go. And
Yeah.
if we can separate Harry Potter from her and have that continue to go in a different direction and be happy and great and all that, I'm happy.
That would be
Unfortunately, I do know
ideal.
she's going to make money off this, but like also I'm going to get to watch a Harry Potter show. So like I don't know, is that equivalent
Yeah.
exchange? I can't I don't
Um,
have the like morality to suss this out. Everyone's going to have to make their own
oh,
choices on this.
yeah, it's this bad thing where like there's a moral high ground of like don't support that show because she funnels her money directly into anti-trans like things.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the machine is too big to be stopped. Like you can't you logging into your HBO Max account, which you already have, and watching an episode of this Harry Potter show that they put out of morbid curiosity. It's not gonna and okay. The same thing I guess could be said about the Velma show when nobody wanted anyone to watch that, but everyone hate watched it. So I don't know.
Sure.
I don't think any kind of moral platitude is going to stop this from happening. So
Yeah. I
I just I think I might not watch it because I have a love-hate relationship with Harry Potter in
yeah.
general. I
See,
loved it as a
mostly hate.
kid. Well, okay, I loved it as a kid, and then I just the more the movies went on, the less colorful they became, and I just
Right.
think they became ass.
That's
That's
because
my opinion.
Magic Hitler came back and he was like, kill all the
He sucked the
mudbloods.
color out of
He
the
ate the
world.
color. That's what the
Mm,
Horcruxes do. You don't
yeah.
understand. No,
But
you're right. Totally
what
justified.
about the ones where it was like back in time and there were magical creatures and everything was still awful, and then everything was written awful as well?
Yeah, those ones are just bad. Well, the first one's okay, I guess. The second and third ones are bad. It's
Yeah.
it's gross. I don't know.
Okay. The rest of this casting. One that
Yes.
I knew, John Lithgow is Dumbledore.
I'm happy about that. I don't know John Lithgow like super like I don't know him in a ton of roles. The ones that I know him from, I think he's good. I think he's a good actor. I don't necessarily know if he has that like gravitas is not the right word, but
Well, so
Dumbledore has this like
in our
ancient,
previous
all-knowing vibe, and I don't know if John Lithgow has that. So I
in
guess we'll
our
see.
previous incarnations of this character, we've had Richard Harris.
Richard Harris. Okay.
Richard Harris was Dumbledore in the first two movies, and he, I think, perfectly encapsulated the tender sweetness, like the very sweet, understanding, wise old man.
Hmm.
And then when he passed away, Michael Gambon took over, which I think a lot of people say they don't care for him as much. I think he did great, and well, obviously there's the funny jokes about how he was much more aggressive, but I think
Right.
he stood his ground on like giving a more powerful, sometimes angrier performance. But I still think he also captured like the sweetness and silliness of this old man. I
I
see
for
John
better or
Lithgow
worse, I think
falling.
I like the second Dumbledore better.
Mhm.
I don't know what the hot take in the situation is. I just think I like him better.
I don't know either, nor do I care. I like
It's
Michael
fair.
Gambon,
I like them both. Yeah, for
uh,
sure.
who has also since passed away, hasn't he? Yeah, he passed away 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so John Lithgow, I can see him doing the sweet side of the character. I don't know if he can do the like stronger, more combative side of the character. But whatever. I like John Lithgow, so it's fine. And then one that I did not know was Nick Frost as Hagrid. That seems like a home run.
I love Nick Frost.
Yeah.
I recently have only seen him in like more serious roles, so him playing like everyone's favorite teddy bear, Rubius Hagrid, is gonna be maybe a little strange to me. But I know he can do it. I love him. I love him. I think Nick Frost is great.
He's
Great
got
choice.
some he's got some range to him, and when he's allowed to be funny, he's extraordinarily funny. So I think that one's we get big hairy man. I think it's good. And then some actors that we are probably definitely we are less familiar with because we're not in the UK and of the know, I suppose. We'll start with the hardest one to say. Is
Mhm.
it Papa Isiju?
That's gonna be as good a guess as I got.
I apologize if I butchered that, but he's playing Snape, and unfortunately, this is probably already, if not, it's going to be like wrapped in controversy because he is a man of color.
It's gonna be
He's,
covered up by the fact that the person playing Hermione is also black.
I get. Is she black?
People are gonna be more upset that Hermione is black than they are about Snape.
Yeah, I guess. Or are they because there's precedent for her being a person of color from that play that nobody saw or liked?
No, I don't think it matters. I think people are gonna be because on top of that, they're also gonna be like, she's not hot enough about this 11-year-old because
Oh, God. All
because
right.
of what happened with original Hermione.
Flag on the
Um,
play. Yeah,
like
yeah.
and that is what's going to happen. I regret to inform everyone listening to this that that is going to be what the shitty people online are saying. Is they're going to be like, she's not hot enough and she's black, get her out of here, and she's going to get more hate than anyone on the face of the earth has ever gotten before in their
That's
lives.
absolutely foul, and I'm so sad that you're right.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
Well, I don't know anything about this guy's work. Let's look at his filmography. He was in an episode of Black Mirror.
That means nothing to me,
I don't
unfortunately.
really watch Black Mirror. Oh, wait, no, he was in 2 episodes of Black Mirror. Check that out.
Wow, no
Um,
way.
and he was in the 2017 movie Murder on the Orient Express. I'm just trying to cast a wide net here for things that I feel people might have seen.
Yeah, I'm seeing that he played young policeman in that though, so that's not.
No, no,
I
probably
don't know that
not.
that's going to be a role people remember him from.
So we'll see how he does. We'll move on to Janet McTeer, who's playing Professor McGonagall.
That name sounds familiar, but I do not know her.
She was in the first thing that I recognize her from being in was 2022's The Menu.
Oh, okay.
The She was, if memory serves, she was a lady. I don't know. I don't remember how to explain her character, but she was there. I could picture her.
Skyler, I'm looking at her IMDb, and there's one that you should have pointed out.
Mission Impossible that
You
I just saw
just
this
talked
week.
about this movie.
Yeah.
Apparently, she's in that. She plays a character called Walters, who I obviously don't know who that is.
You got me. I didn't really see it. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my god.
Um, sure. Yeah, no, it's good. All right, moving on. Playing Professor Quirrell,
Weird.
which is funny that this got like an announcement, but that's, I mean, yeah, he's a big part of the first one, so I get it. He played a soldier in the 2018 movie The Favorite, though it says he went uncredited, so there's that.
Okay.
And then he does a lot of theater, it looks like. So
Okay.
there's that.
Interesting. So we got sort of a Broadway through line here.
Right. And then playing Mr. Filch is an actor named Paul Whitehouse, who was he did a voice in The Corpse Bride. He was in Finding Neverland. He did he's the voice of the March Hare in the Alice in Wonderland, Tim Burton live action, whatever nonsense, blah blah blah.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
He's did some TV shows. Anyways, the big twist here
yeah.
about this guy in particular
Uh-oh.
is not his first Harry Potter role, apparently.
Whoa. What else did you do? Did you voice the spider?
No, that guy died.
Oh, come
Um,
on.
so in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban,
Uh-huh.
which fans of the series will know is the third one, uh,
True.
he played. Do you remember in the books that stupid knight in the painting that would like bumble around and be an asshole, and everyone made fun of him for being a stupid painting?
Sure.
Played that guy.
So you had what, like one scene?
Well, I think you see him in the background for 1 second, and then he was in scenes that were deleted from the film.
I wonder if they'll like make a joke about that and they'll have him like stand in front of that
No, they won't.
painting at some point.
Never. They won't do it.
Do we know
You know
anything
what?
about this show?
No, not
Like
even a little bit.
episode
But
wise or when it's expected to come out?
let's talk the real shit. Since we're talking about the books.
Right.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
You cast Professor Snape, sure. You
Sure,
cast
sure.
Dumbledore. We knew these characters were going to be in the movie. Quirrell,
Yeah.
yeah, we know Quirrell's got to be in it.
I'm really more concerned about the other side of Quirrell's head, but yeah.
When are we going to see who's playing Peeves?
I don't want Peeves. I
Put
don't need
Peeves in
Peeves.
the cowards. Put him in.
No, because like I feel like if you're casting Peeves, you're gonna cast a dickhead. And I don't want to know who that dickhead's gonna be. Because
Let's
what
try to
if it's
guess who the
like
dickhead's going to be.
um
Who's it? I'm gonna Google search right now. British dickhead.
did you broke up in such a way that you like kind of censored yourself?
You want me to give it another take?
No, I got it.
British dickhead. All right, it wasn't helpful. That didn't help me Google wise. So I'm gonna now switch to who is the British dickhead.
Okay, I know who I would cast as it, but it's stupid.
Hit me with it. Who is it?
I would cast Noel Fielding.
Damn. Has he been canceled?
No, his
He hasn't
friends have.
Oh well, yeah. Let's not talk about.
Sir Russell Brand.
Ooh. I think people tried to cancel Noel Fielding because in the Mighty Boosh he did things that were seemingly similarly close to blackface,
Uh-oh.
but I don't know. That'd be kind of. Does he have like the ooh tee hee kind of energy that Peeves is supposed to have though? He
I
should have
could
been
see
Snape.
it. I could
Could
see
you
it.
imagine?
No, God, no.
Yeah. Can we get Richard Iowati to play like Professor Flitwick to like force perspective to make him small?
Ooh, I mean, maybe,
Or
maybe.
or how can we get David Mitchell in this?
Now you're just
What
naming
role?
people from
Yeah,
Countdown.
you put me on to the like late night British like
I
parlor
named
game
a
shows.
British man,
No,
and you're
let's
like,
get what's your boy from Taskmaster? What's his name?
which one?
The Greg Davies.
Greg Davies?
Yeah.
I don't know who I would cast him as.
He should have been Hagrid. What the hell? That dude's
He
huge.
doesn't have the kindly aura,
No, he'd be
but
very sassy.
he was a teacher
Oh yeah, there you
for a
go.
long time, so he could do. I don't
Oh,
know.
I got it. Greg Davies as the centaur who becomes the astronomy teacher.
No, that's Alex Horn. You make it Alex Horn. Yeah. For sure, for sure, for sure. Now I'm just trying to think of a role for Greg Davies.
Yeah, get him in there.
You know what? Make Greg Davies Uncle Dursley.
Oh, okay. Like a giant threatening
hmm
Vernon Dursley.
Yeah. Why
That's
not?
interesting.
I could see it.
What about where can we stick like Peter Capaldi of Doctor Who fame and other things, many other things. He was in Paddington 2
Peter
and 1.
Capaldi. Voldemort. I don't know, man.
Oh, yeah, man, you know what? That's that's not even like the worst thing I've ever heard.
I
It's
looked
not
at
the
one picture of him and I saw him making an angry face and I was like, yep, Voldemort, sure.
It's not the best thing I've ever heard, but it's
Just
not the worst
look,
either.
man, I made a snap decision, and now he's Voldemort. That's official casting. They got to go with it.
Yeah. I like it. I like it.
There is fan art of him as Dumbledore, but that ship has sailed.
Hmm. We got
So
the one American guy to do that.
yeah, that's really funny. Actually, I didn't think about that. I didn't know John Lithgow was American, but I guess it makes sense.
Well, if you're gonna call me on it, and when we Google and make sure he's not Canadian,
I mean, look, I don't know. I don't know anything
if he
about
if
these
he's if
people.
he's Canadian, the show's over. We're ending the episode.
Okay, I mean, we should probably end it pretty soon anyway.
No, born in Rochester, New York.
There we go, baby. New York
Oh,
Dumbledore, Chicago Pope.
but he did attend the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art, so
Oh,
that's his in.
yes. Yeah. Well, if that's your in, you can leave a comment on Spotify or YouTube telling us all about how much you think John Lithgow is the perfect Dumbledore, or how much you wish that Hermione would just be left alone online.
Leave her alone.
Leave her
That's
alone.
let's put out that official statement.
Leave
Leave her
Arabella Stanton
alone.
alone. She's gonna be
Leave,
getting. No, you know what? Actually, don't leave her alone. Go say nice things to her because she's gonna get the negative things, and if
oh, drown him out.
you gotta drown them out.
Yeah,
If
that's a
she
good
does
point.
have socials, go and be like, I'm really excited to see you as whatever, because right now she's getting a lot of BS. I guarantee it. So
Oof.
go say
Yeah.
nice things to her.
Give these kids support. And you know what? Last thing, it's important to remember that J.K. Rowling's like horrific transphobia is not these kids' fault.
No, it's not.
That should go without saying, but
Right.
I feel like it doesn't. So
And
support these kids.
you can like Harry Potter and dislike J.K. Rowling, and it is also okay if you can't separate those things and you don't want to watch the show because of it. Both are
Mhm.
fine. Let people make their own decisions about what to boycott and what to not boycott. All options are fine, except saying that J.K. Rowling is right. Fuck that bitch.
And except for bullying these kids for
Yeah,
any reason.
don't bully these kids. Unless one of them comes out and is like, hey, also, I murdered 6 guys, which seems unlikely, but I don't know. I'm looking at the smile on Dominic, and he might have did it.
Well, that's a wait and see game.
So wait and see. There's a smile that says wait and see. Uh, but anyway, yes, leave a comment. Tell us all about how much you love us and how much you love all these castings and how excited you are for Survivor 50. You can follow the show on Twitter at RSR_POD, or you can follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Daniel J. McGee.
You can follow me on Blue Sky at Skyler 8-bit, and we want to humbly thank you for listening through all the bullshit to get to the Harry Potter casting. If that's what you
Yes.
came here for, we apologize for just taking our sweet time.
Yeah, but just know also if you skip the Survivor conversation, then I am a little bit
Oh,
upset with you.
you're dead to us if you did
You're
that.
dead to just me. Skyler still
Yeah.
loves you because he also
No,
doesn't
no,
care.
no. It's on principle. I
Oh,
stand
okay,
with
okay,
you,
okay,
brother.
okay. Sure.
Yeah.
You know what? Arm in arms. And until next time, everybody, we'll see you around.
The game's just starting, the world's so bright. Jump right in, everything feels